Hey guys, my name is Sediak and welcome back to another episode of Woodville here in City Skylines 2, where we're now witnessing one of the many brand new bus routes that we created in the last episode to make the Woodville region even more interconnected. Now we've got to the point where we are making profit. We do lose money occasionally at different times of day, depending on what's ultimately going on. But overall, on a 24-hour period, we are making money, but we need to pump up the revenue. We need to inject more cash into the balance. We need to throw more exports out of here to the other nations around us right now. And that's where we're going to look at expanding the wood industry, that next step forward. Now, we do have quite a few issues still lying around right now. We have some of the hearse issues right now, which I believe is down to the fact that this church over here is full. Now, I don't know how we empty a church. It says the facility is full right now. It reaches maximum storage capacity and must be emptied before continue functioning. How do I empty it? Is that a possibility? I can relocate the building. I can focus on it. I can toggle traffic routes. I can also turn it off. But I'm not quite sure how I empty it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the extensions onto it, either side right now. Quite expensive extensions right there. But that will give us double the capacity for now. And it should go and pick up those deceased bodies. I do need to put a crematorium nearby. But before I can spend more money that's going to pretty much, deplete my bank balance pretty rapidly, I need to make more money. Also, we still have the traffic issues here. I really don't want to solve the traffic issues yet until the public transport has really kicked in. But it is starting to look like this roundabout is one of the bigger issues, okay? It is stopping us from filtering the traffic out with absolute ease. So we know that. We're going to leave it as that for now because we're going to come back to it at the end of the episode. Now, if you are enjoying the series so far, please make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. We seem to have a similar issue over here as well with the roundabouts. Do I just go back to the 4-lane roads at this point? That's not the correct answer. I think we need to bulk up the roads. But again, leave that towards the end of the episode. So today I want to expand the wood industry and I want to build more forestries down, because when it comes to our production, and actually if I check the taxation, it's the easiest way to kind of view it. We make X amount from furniture, from paper, from timber, all good. It's minimal money at this point. It is minimal money. The more factories we build, the higher we can increase that revenue, but the more consumers we create, the lower the revenue is going to be. Now, if I scroll all the way down, you can see our biggest money maker is wood. So why don't we just create more wood? I know, right? I know. Now, I want to do it within this area here, and it's a good reason for me to do it in this area because it gives me an excuse to extend the road network and to create more connectability, and also to look at maybe extending and finally working with the train line for cargo. That's going to be really, really interesting. It'll also allow me to finalize this industrial area. Well, I say finalize it. It will show me where the boundaries are going to be and how far I can extend it. So I'm just going to forget all my issues at the moment because I need more cash. Now, what I want to do here is got the highway road that joins to this roundabout, okay? I'm going to put more pressure on this roundabout, which will then give me the excuse at some point to build a better variation of the junction. But basically, this road comes in and it pretty much ends further up, but it's mainly utilized to access the harbor and this tech area and industrial area we've got set up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this to connect somewhere else. Now, rather than actually continuing the road to get it connected somewhere, I'm going to see if I can create a better connection nearby. Now, as of right now, if you wanted to go here to here, you've got to go across the bridge. It would be nice to give them an alternative route. I wouldn't say a faster route, I'm just going to say an alternative route. And I had the idea before for maybe allowing this road to come down to shoot over to connect in, which would be great, but I've changed my mind. I'm going to make it come off this road here. So we're going to turn it into a 4-lane junction right now. I'll explain why my reasoning behind it is going to be. Is this crooked? It is. I'll make it go straight to the bridge, which makes more sense. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to make it bridge over these 3 little creek rivers and then connect in. That way, it gives me access to work in all these areas with nice little road connections to just build mass forestries. That is an absolute genius decision. Now, wherever I put this road, which I'm going to randomly pick here, okay? I've randomly picked there. That shows me this industrial area has the ability to expand as far as here. Interesting. And then on this side, it's all determined on where I bring the train line in. So I'm going to get the train line to almost run parallel with the road. So when it drops to connect in, whatever space is available, that's what we got for our kind of industrial area. Right. So we're going to bring this so far, and what I want to do is I really want to utilize, and I kind of like them now, it's becoming the focal point, these type of bridges, but they are with the normal style road, so that's what we have to work with. We'll bring it down, well actually we'll bring it up by a, is 5 too high? I think like 5 might be too high. I'm not breaking any height records today. And apparently we've got water there. They don't like the water? I mean, you're a bridge. You're meant to go over the water. Right, build you there. And then connect these bad boys up. And then... how do I bring this now back down? Is there not like a snap in the middle I can utilize? Because I don't want it to... if I anarchy it. Really? Right, let's scrap the anarchy. There's a section there I can run in and then... right, there we go. We got it connected in the end. Annoying as that was. So I've got to bring it across this one and across this one as well. Now, we might do these in different stages. So I reckon if I just freehand the bridges... so if I came off, let's say I utilized... hang on, let me work this out. Right, let's say I come off it just there with this bridge. So let's say I went about there with this. Which would lead up to allow me then to place... do I need to push this back a bit further? That would then go across there. And we have to kind of drop this down a little bit, which is not an issue. So if I then placed you here... to there. Let's just now get these all connected to the highway road. So of course that would lead down. Where's the snap on that? There's the snap. And then we bend this in. So that would become a 50-ish. It's not the best, is it? It's not the best. But I much prefer to do it like this. So bend you in like that. The highway runs in beautifully. And then do the same for this. So if I come from here and drop you down. If I come from there, drop you down. And then the simplest of bends connects you in. And then we've got to get this bending down to connect into here. So first bring you on the ground. And if I just theoretically grab you and do this to there, if I move you like that, move you like that, delete, 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 delete. Oh, you idiot. You idiot, Zodiac. Oh, I deleted the wrong bit. Right, let's try that one again. So I should be able to delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. Got that straight bit there to work with, and then we just wiggle a little bend in. It's all about character, boys. It's all about character. So that there's a 41-ish, 40, run you in. And then this one here is a 56-ish, 58, run you in. Right, nice and simple. So, doesn't seem like much, but what it allows me now to do is have access to all these little peninsulas around these little waterways and have easy highway access to travel to wherever they need to get to. Now, it might not be a shortcut run for anybody, No, that's not the that's not the thing I'm trying to accomplish here. I'm not kind of trying to create any shortcut whatsoever. It just allows alternative routes for when traffic does, like for example right now, get a little bit busy or an accident does get caused. Now, I would like to extend that road coming up to some point, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that area just yet. So we're going to kind of keep it as it is. But I now get access to all these little sections. So where would I want this train line then? So let me just kind of look towards this train line. Let me just pick here. And let me run this to the very end. So I'm going to run the train line like that. And at some point, it needs to match down here. Now, what's going to be good about this train line is I'm going to have roads going across it, which will access forestry areas. But it's really important because we're utilizing the cargo trains to funnel the goods to the harbour, then they get shipped out. I probably won't build a train line. I mean, say build a train line, like get a cargo train line up and running today. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Now, if I just bring this... I'm going to bring that to... Now, if I brought that to there, and then deleted a chunk of it back, so if I deleted you and then deleted you, this is the area I'm going to have remaining. I just need to bend this in. So do I go for the big bend? It would allow trains to kind of travel at speed still. 216 by 217, that's almost perfect. And then what about here? So there is 124 by 121, I'll take it. Right, that is my train line coming in and out of the area. So on the right, if I look at it like this, the right hand side will be forestry. Here will be the extension of whatever industry I build. All here will be all industry built as well, up to there, and that's it. That's as far as I'm going with the big industrial section here. And then the rest just goes into raw industry, if that's like the better term to put it. Now, because I have access to all these little nooks and crannies right now, we can go a little bit wild with building up the forestry areas. So let's start in some reasonable spots. Now, I do expect to have power and sewage issues, because it is coming directly off a highway. But let's start with a nice little dirt road here. Oh, hang on, I'm still elevated. Oh, hold on, boys. Hold on, boys. I'm still technically elevated right now. Right, little dirt road there. And if I come off here and do this, I should now be able to throw down a nice, simple forestry. Like that. And then literally go crazy. So I'm going to do what I've done previously and kind of give myself a little bit of breathing space. I'll do anarchy and turn the snap off. And I need to double check what my exports was. It was like just over 200,000, right? I'll double check again in just a minute. And I want to see what we can actually move it to. Because it is a lot of exports, which does then free me up with the factories to produce a lot more different products in return. Right, that's in, but let me quickly pause and let me check the production, not production, it's taxation I want to look at. I want to judge it by taxation. So 220, okay, we're going to judge it by 220. Right, let me just sort out the power issues that we're going to be having. So we need to go from there. And can I lead it all the way to here? There, to there, to there, there. Right, that there should give us at least the power coming in, right? Yeah. We just don't have sewage at the moment. What will be the easiest way to do this? Like run it through the road? So if I ran it all the way to here, is that enough to connect up sewage on that front? Yes. So that's one done. I do have quite a few that I need to do. But, you know, it should be pretty good. So we'll do that area. We'll look towards getting our first one in here then. So, do I utilize the crossroad or shall I come slightly off it? I reckon we should come slightly off it here. And we create a connection now coming through. So I'm going to make it a little bit longer. And we'll place down 2 forestries here. So if I did it like that, okay. So forestry there, a forestry on this side, and we'll take it so far. Take it so far, and then we'll implement a second one. Which will go just there. And we'll also come off this here to implement one on this side. And we'll go that way. And I'll stagger it slightly for something a little bit different. So we'll get 1, 2, 3. Potentially 4, depending on how much space I decide to pull that one over by. So this will be a big game changer now, right now, because these are going to be big ones. They're not going to be the biggest one I've built, is it? I think this is the biggest one that I've got, right? 126 people working there. So I'm basing the size off how many people work there. Yeah, it's definitely that one. 126. So I wonder if we can actually get more than that one. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Right, I'm not sure where I'm going to put that though, so I'll start here with this. Turn the anarchy on. There we go. And then we're going to run with the train line. And do I get right into it? No, I think I'll just kind of end it here. Right, let me turn the snapping off then, because it does make a lot of ease. Alright, there we go. And if I put the snapping back on just to get to here. And in. And then we'll build our next one. So I don't particularly know whether that is considered now a big boy or not. It will either be close or no cigar. And let me just go to the edge of that there. And I'll come back and fine tune it. Alright, that should be able to run down. Right, I've definitely got to fine tune it a bit more. Which, grabbing you. Will go to there. And then that next one will then continue. So I don't think then yeah, I'm not going to get anywhere near with these ones. Now looking at it in terms of its size. Right, that connection needs to be had there for the sewage, which is enough. It should have its power. It can then do what it's got to do. So we get 49 on that one. 40. What? Okay, is that considered smaller or is that just... Is that just me? It might just be me. Yeah, I think it might be considered a little bit smaller. I don't know. That's a weird one, isn't it? It is a weird one. Right, let me just get in one here. And then I think we'll ease off for a little bit. And see how far we can go. So drop you there. Now this, we will kind of push it down to here. Right, run this. Now going down. Remember, not too close to it. Oh. There we go. That's also then done, which also needs sewage as well. Oh, yes, okay, it has to run through here. And then that will give this here the sewage as well. Does that not connect? Is that slightly a bit funky? Right, that might not be connecting the way I'm expecting it to. So what I'll do is I'll bring it through as if it does continue. And can we go diagonal? Is that enough? Yes, it now works. Right, it now works. So that would have provided a fair few amount of jobs, even with the small amount that I've done. That would have provided a decent amount of job opportunities right now. That's gone up to 64, so that is maybe definitely growing. 49, 33. So we've provided, like, you know, almost 150 jobs. Doesn't seem like much, but it all counts. It all helps. But with the revenue that we could generate from all this is going to be absolutely huge. So I've got to wait till it starts exporting the new forest products or the new wood that we are producing. That in itself will take a little bit of time. Right, I'll come back and add a few more in. There's a few little gaps and stuff I do want to squeeze in. There's vehicles using this road, this new road system here, so it's a benefit to some of them, which is actually quite exciting, isn't it? It is quite exciting. But let me see if I can now see any of these issues and see if we can kind of solve any of them. So we still got the hearse issue, but it might be that this is now completely overloaded. So we might need to think about building a more localized cemetery or church nearby. So why don't we start to do a little bit of work around then? I reckon here would be the perfect location for a church. So I reckon we go for... Is it expensive, the church, the UK parish church? It's only 40 grand. Right, I can live with that. I can live with that. We'll go with the alleyway style road. And we'll come off just here. And I'm going to go across by 24, across by 24-ish, and place you down. And then I want to placeholder, or I want to anarchy, I should say, a couple of these trees. We'll go big, just so they're kind of a little bit more nearby. So a little church nearby there, and that'll be perfect to then extend the little walkable route going along. So we drop a nice little church nearby there, which it's pretty much acting as a cemetery, is what it does. That'll work out for us fairly well. We'll look towards doing some walkable routes. So I think what we need to look at doing is coming off every so often. Not all of them, maybe, or maybe all of them. I'm not too sure what the consensus would be here. But if I do it there, and then I look towards doing it here, what I then want to do is see with the wiggly road section. Kind of go ahead and connect all these in. Alright, there we go. And I'll move it a bit closer. We'll move a bit closer. I might also edit some of this to kind of create some beachy front, not beach. Well, is it? I call it beachfront. I mean, it is called beachfront properties. Let's not lie right now. But for me in this area, it'll be like riverfront properties. That's probably the term you most kind of like commonly would use. So what I could do with them is maybe build a road that extends out instead of this, just to kind of be able to access it. So if, for example, I killed off this connection, this connection, this connection, and I utilize the alley style road, so coming off this instead, to kind of bend this way, to run down, and if I then slightly bend here, and then utilize the walkable path. So let me go back to this. I want to try something here. It'll be interesting. I'm turning the anarchy off. Where's the snap on that there? There it is. Right, there we go. And in this vicinity here, this is like the kind of the little unique stuff that we want to squeeze in. Is the waterfront house properties. They're called waterfront house. That's what they're called. I can add the odd one there. And it just adds to this area a bit more, doesn't it? I like the idea of that. Just like little kind of nuances, this kind of little, you know, bits and bobs. Now, park-wise, where do we find the parks during this section? I want to go quite naturey parks, okay? So if I was to squeeze in here a small park, that's probably a little bit too big, too long. These are going to be way too big for me. Sports facilities, tiny park, mini park, urban concrete. Small playground is a really good one. Another tiny city park there. So I'm adding these little bits and bobs kind of like around the edges. It gives more reason for people to walk along the paths. Now I reckon we could maybe launch some housing around here. So that would then kind of question me to get rid of you. Back to this. Bringing, let's just say this up to there. And I'll take that as far as there. And I'll take that as far as... No, I'll go a little bit further. Right, and that's as far as I'm taking that there. So, the paths will be walkable as far as here. Which means they can then access them, walk along there. It gives me more room to access all of this. And we literally have no zoning, no demand for this type of house or any housing at this kind of stage. So I'm just going to add the odd little bit and bob here. Nothing crazy, nothing mental. And then with that, I can play around with the juiciness of trees. So, not to go too crazy. But I'm going crazy. I suppose it will look better once all the housing's in. I suppose it would look better then, wouldn't it? All the zoning's in place for it. And once you kind of get it in and you start to see it, it will look 10 times better. Right, okay. It will be a bit of time before we start seeing, one, any demand being built. And also, two, these bodies being collected. But in the meantime, it gives me time to grow these forest areas a bit more and slowly get the exports on the go. So we've got the employees there. We just need to add a few more in. Right, let's turn this whole section here into a big forestry. So coming off you. Oh, hang on. There we go. We'll go up. Oh, no, 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 no. Bam. And then we will place down the forestry area just like this. Bringing you down now. Right, let's come off the snapping. Run you down. Anarchy, this bad boy. There we go. So this is going to be quite a big one as well. But I said that on the last one, and it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. Right, let's put the snapping back on now at this point. But it looks like it could be like a large area. 43. See, not as big as I feel like I'm thinking it's bigger than what it is, and it's just not. Right. Into the road. Bring this piping work around the road right now. And connect you in. Right. Another forestry area ticked off. There's so many little nooks and crannies you can squeeze these in. And that's really what I want to try and do. It is what I want to try and do. Still no zoning's coming in right now. It just shows you that the game is screaming for alternative zoning, which is perfect. So I'll extend the industrial areas here a bit more. So I'm going to come off this junction because it is quite a vital junction. So if I come off this just first, like that. And I think, do I keep it all to stick into this junction? Or do you think we should maybe think about having a secondary connection? Would it cause a lot of vehicle traffic? Most likely. But let's play around now with this. So if I was to create the glorious bend here. Run that straight to there. Bend you. And run you straight. That becomes the through, not the through road because it doesn't really go anywhere. But it becomes the main drag of road that we then build upon it. So, with that said, I can now come off this in my various runs. Running straight like this, for example. I can continue to extend you. And I can continue to extend you. And then from this, I can extend you up. And of course, extend you to there. So I'm just mimicking how I've designed this area in general. Not taking it too serious. I'm not sure, though, if I'm still a fan on the cul-de-sacs. I'm not 100% sure if I'm sold on those yet. But anyway, let's get some industry zoning in. And see what we can kind of ultimately get out of this. Right. Try my best not to build on the main run section. But I think it really wants to kind of connect to that. So that's where that road is touching. There we go. And do I just now leave the rest of it? I think I'll finish this off. I'll finish it to there, because that is quite a bit of zoning getting thrown in. So if I start to see the buildings over here start to grow, it means we are starting to generate a little bit of residential demand. But I wouldn't say there's much. Okay, so unemployment is in the 30%. It should start reducing with the amount of jobs that we are now slowly providing. They can be anywhere between 0 with a warehouse up to 22. But it's all producing wood product as well. So that's another export that we can throw out there. The dead body issue is slowly dropping down as well. Have we seen much traffic issues lately? I don't feel like we have, which is a good sign. Revenue-wise, we are spending quite a bit of cash right now, but it is in that awkward time. Oh, they haven't even started to go to work yet. Fair enough. Fair enough. We've definitely increased the wood exports. That's huge. But how are we doing with the road revenue? We could increase this by incorporating more car parks. So people are going to start going to work now as well. So we might take a look at that junction in just a second. But let me take a look at the car parking situation first. So Multi-stories are really good. They really, really did help us out. I don't know whether we should maybe look at squeezing an additional one in, maybe on the back end over here. I'm going to throw that in there, near all these big, larger tower blocks. And how much was you charging for car parking? 15 big ones. So 15 big ones there. And then, obviously, more parking around here is a must. More parking around here is definitely a must. But I don't want to just drop random car parking. I want it to also kind of look okay. So the canopy stuff is pretty nice. I wonder if this solar panelled car parking actually works. Like, does it produce electricity? I don't know if it does. Can anyone fact check that for me? Does solar panel parking produce electricity for your city? I would like to know. Right, now we're getting the build up right now of all the vehicles heading out. It's mainly backlogged because they can't get down this road quick enough because of this roundabout. Now, I'm going to transform this junction. This could be interesting. Rather than the roundabout there, I'm going to move the roundabout to here. Okay, just bear with me on this. Just bear with me on this. So if I was to delete the roundabout, and delete you going back, delete you going back. There is a point where this does and should connect. So this goes down, and it should awkwardly connect here. But is that making it connect too late on the old bend? I think it might be okay still. And then for this, bring it further out. So the bend... Oh, no. I should have just killed that off when I had the chance. Alright, that is going to be 133. We'll go to there and connect you in. So it does give this bridge coming over a little bit more breathing space, but it opens up this here for me to do something a bit different. Now, I could just bulk up the road and drop a bigger roundabout on and let them go at it, which works in many, many occasions. I could drop a big boy there, as you can see. So let me just kind of place a larger variant in. And let me just bulk up the roads leading to it before I do anything else. So bulk you up, and then bulk you leading slightly out. That's bulked in, and that is bulked up a little bit further back. So it defines 2 lanes for all directions is what it first does. It defines the 2 lanes for all directions. But that doesn't solve the issues. Someone's got to stop somewhere, and seeing as the dominant force is coming from this direction, it still, like I said, doesn't do what I need it to do. So what I could do, and this might be completely overkill, and you know what? It's not might. I know it's completely overkill. Now, if I raise this up to a... I don't know whether a 5 is too big. I'm not sure. But a 104... Should I freehand this and do no snapping? Because the road is going to be turning away anyway. And because this is the dominant road in which they want to travel in, I could create a nice little sneaky overpass. Very much like how I've done the overpass with the train station. Now, is that a good idea? Probably not. Could this ultimately work? The answer is yes. So if I ran this to the point where it touches ground. Oh, hello. Is that not... Oh, it's not going straight. That's why it's not working. And then I did the complex curve right now where it snaps, snaps. Right, stop that. Let me do 4-lane here as well. Snap, snap, snap. Now I know there is slight awkwardness here, so I'm gonna upgrade you accordingly. Where that's only a single lane. So the additional lane is there. I don't know if that's too short of a slip. Unless I make the slip longer there. But now it's not in the air. Now it is in the air. It's not needed, this. Okay, it's just not needed. So I can already see people going, Seniac, what is this monstrosity right now? Oh, I thought I was bendy-wendying there. Turns out I wasn't. Now, if I just quickly elevate to a certain point, and I do the same here now, where that has the dedicated turning lane. So this is just a placeholder, okay? Don't say, this is Seniac, this is terrible. I know this is terrible. I just want to test it before we decide to build a better variant of it. So we've lost power, and that will be down to the fact that we no longer have the electricity grid connecting to it. But most importantly right now, we have a flyover route. So I'm going to just wait for this initial traffic here to pass said roundabout. For vehicles to then decide that they have the green light to completely fly over. So that allows my roundabout to have a lot more freedom, a lot more movement. Granted, you could argue it just pushes the traffic to the next junction. But if it clears this quicker, it means vehicles can funnel out of here a lot quicker. So what the point I'm trying to prove is the overpass works. Okay? Is it slightly overkill for this area? Yes and no. Yes and no. I feel like if it's done correctly, it could work. If it is done correctly, it could definitely work. It definitely could work. And the same thing coming back, because obviously we'll have traffic coming back this way to do a slippy slip to come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely delete all this. Right? And I'll have a think about this and what the better option would be. If anybody wants to screenshot this view right now, let me zoom in. Screenshot this view right now, boys. And what would you do? Take a screenshot, edit the image, post it on my Discord, and just let me know right now. How would you approach changing this junction? Just send the screenshot to me on my Discord. But I'll let the traffic kind of do what it's got to do anyway. Now, ooh, garbage is piling up for the first time. See, now garbage is going to be my next issue. I don't have any garbage facilities, right? Oh, no, I do, sorry. I have a recycling facility over here, which... Do I just need more vehicles? What's going on with the issue with the garbage right now? Is it just that we are delayed in picking up the trash? Where's my closest garbage truck? Are you going to pick up the trash, boys? Okay, garbage is not an issue. It's just the game's being an issue for me. It's been an issue for me. Okay, right. Let's now get in a few more of these forest areas. Actually, what's unemployment saying now? It's still 30%. Okay, I haven't really had any new people moved in, and I have provided a lot more jobs. So let's just spend some more of the industrial demand then. There we go. And I might as well just throw some in. Oh, no, I'm going to save this for tech, boys. We'll save this area here for the tech. So, very busy here. We're going to need a junction. We are going to need a junction. So, bring this road down. And I might just end it like that. And then running off it, these little side streets. Ugh. It decided to bend right at the last minute. Right, is that going to be a constant issue right now, that vehicle traffic? Do I like how that road now bends at the end? No. No, I don't. You won't even tell once I've finished all this up anyway. We'll bring this out. And then bring that down. Bring your road off here down. Bring you up. And that creates another beautiful little tech park here. Of course, drop parking down first. So we'll go with... what size are we working with? So one's too big, one's not big enough. It's kind of funny, isn't it? We'll throw... Oh, we'll throw that there. Or parking. No, I don't like the parking on the entrance there. I'll put it... You know what? Nah. I won't use that one. We won't use that one. We'll go with... Yeah, we'll throw you in here. There we go. Park in there. I'll up the parking fee to 15. And let's fill all the offices in here. Now, we have the southwest style again. I'll get those where we can. There we go. But I want to take advantage of the big boys at the same time. So all the big spaces, I'll do the normal ones. And then the smaller spaces, we'll squeeze in these type of offices. So that covers some aspects there. Fill you in like that. Because I know these are different size buildings. And I think that's as far as I'm going to take it. Yeah, that's as far as we'll take it. I'm not going to push it any further. Alright, get some trees dotted in. I like the ones where you can squeeze on the buildings. If I see a little bit of a green patch on the building, I'm going for it. I'm going for the kill. Alright. Alright, there and there and there. Let's add to the trees. Alright, turn the anarchy off there. Bulk up the trees, especially in all these areas. I haven't really done many of the trees here. Just a couple of minutes or a couple of moments on detailing. Really can transform the area. Fills in those little dead spots. Especially along the road as well. It creates like a little bit of a natural sound barrier. Right. Industries are being built as we speak. They really are being built as we speak. But was it enough to reduce unemployment? Yes, it actually took 5% off. Okay, that's worked out really well. We have got some residential demand, but it's not the type of residential demand we're after. Do we have any commercial... we do have some commercial signature buildings we can place down. The Northwestern Inn. That's a slightly taller building we can throw in, which will be really greatly appreciated. Throw you there. That alone itself provides 60 jobs. Is it 60 jobs or attractiveness? No, yeah, it does provide 60 jobs. We got the Sunshine Hotel. So we got a couple of hotels here as we build like a little bit of a hotel district. There we go, just kind of opposite it there. Nice little views. That provides 157 jobs. We've got the supermarket right now. Oh, supermarket's massive. Definitely got to squeeze this in around here. Right, that would make sense here, building a supermarket. Right, drop you in there. And then we play with a bunch of trees. We'll drop some trees on the actual building. Like that. And then we've got a big supermarket within the residential area. Just like what you would have in real life. And that provides 220 jobs as well. That's actually quite a lot of jobs. And that should... Overall, we've almost reduced... you know what, boys? We've heavily reduced unemployment. Pushing 10% decrease right now, those couple of buildings alone. Now that's amazing. That is a supermarket right there. Everyone can do their weekly shop there, boys. Everyone can do their weekly shop. We got a petrol station in recently. Oh, the pub stuff. I think the pub stuff will be really nice around here. Like a nice little country pub by the waterfront. We're getting all the residential buildings coming in as well. The corner pub there. Yes, please. Yes, please, boys. Right. Demands are creeping back. Not enough customers. Don't worry. You'll have residential for days around you in just a minute. Do not worry, hotels. Do not worry. The issue of them now going back out is happening. We've got to redesign this whole junction. This junction here is really slowing me down. Right, let me pull it back. Because I'm going to redesign this next episode. And we'll build a better variant of it. Right, there we go. I keep forgetting, though. When you upgrade, you completely lose power. Right, just to allow us to have multiple vehicles entering on. But we've got to really consider alternative options. A flyover or an underpass definitely 100% works. I don't want to do my shortcut route. Because that is... It's going to put so much pressure on this roundabout, and I don't really want to do that. If I can sort the overpass or underpass out correctly, we're laughing, boys. We are laughing all the way to the bank. Vehicles are still using this, which is looking pretty good to see. Lots more jobs being taken up. Unemployment has definitely reduced. And what's our taxation right now on the wood products? So we've added about 60 grand on top of it, just for those few little zoning, which are quite small in comparison to what we currently have. We've managed to add a bit more in. Now, I did say that this area is going to be kind of all techie as well, but I feel like... no, I think it still will be. I think it still will be techie. Let me just bring this road out. So I'll come off... Do you know what? No, I'm gonna do a new road. Just, again, to alleviate pressures. And I'll do a continuous bend road. And we'll bend that there. Right, that's running straight. And I think that's where we'll kind of take that road to an end. To where then we would come off you like that. And then start running out in all different directions. So let me just drop a couple of main drags coming out. To what I can work with. Alright, that will work. Few little cuts and twists and turns. There we go. And I don't think I'll need to take it any further than that. And that's going to become another big tech area for me right now. So there's no signature buildings for tech, is there? I haven't really unlocked it until I've got more zoned area down. So let me just now place in these little chunky boy areas. With the zoning. And then we'll do these small southwestern ones. Then we'll do the rest of it in gaps. Like this. There we go. There we go. And then this should really look good once it's all done. So a few little gaps here now. And go like that. There. We haven't got to go over the top is the main thing here. Right, there we go. So, we don't have the water connected, which will run directly to there. We have power, which is all good. So, we're good there. We are pretty sweet. Pretty sweet right now. We are experiencing a lot of vehicle movement. And it's coming out of all kinds. It's when everyone leaves to go home, isn't it? So, this is where said roundabout would now be beneficial here. How small are we looking like that? Because you basically don't want to have them slow down. The more they can maintain their speed, the better for us. Which now funnels out the vehicles a lot quicker than before, so we shouldn't really see this backlog moving forward in the future. So now as they're returning home from work, you can see the traffic is now going the opposite way. So we have to kind of create traffic calming measures and basically not allow them to slow down as much as they are doing. Which is what we're going to solve in the next episode. So hopefully we'll see a huge reduction in the traffic. Now, unemployment is low 20%. And when you check the job market, I mean, you just need to provide more jobs all over, in reality. But it is looking fairly fantastic. Right, get rid of anarchy. Let's go a bit crazy on the old trees as well. I'm liking the trees. This is what Woodville's all about, boys. Trees. Trees for days. Trees for days. We'll end up fine-tuning this anyway. And just making it look perfect. But I think for now, it's the perfect way to kind of end it. We provided a lot more jobs, we've extended the network, and figured out a system to where our train lines are going to run. So it's the raw industry, on the tech industry, on the dirty industry, all combined in one place. Next episode, traffic. We're going to fix it. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.